Well, it's time for the hunt again. I'm prepared. I've got everything. State-of-the-art rifle and scope, binoculars, camo gear, lures and scents, just about any accessory you can imagine. The only thing I don't have yet is that trophy rack. And even with all these accessories, it's going to take both luck and skill to outwit the animal with the most well-honed instincts, the white-tailed deer. It's exciting just to watch that animal with his beauty, majesty, and grace. It's hard to believe that basically this is the same animal that existed with the extinct saber-toothed tiger and the mastodon in prehistoric times. Many equate the deer's adaptability to that of man's. He changes with the times and circumstances. The chronicles of the whitetail include times the deer flourished and times the deer almost disappeared. It finally came to a point where man had to intervene to save the deer population he had nearly driven to extinction. Many sportsmen today take the whitetail for granted and don't realize a tremendous effort is taken to build a herd to its modern-day size. Perhaps man's admiration for the whitetail is partially out of respect for its adaptability. This animal seems to have a sixth sense for survival. Just when you attempt to predict his actions, he becomes uncannily unpredictable. In the middle 1800s, great portions of the wooded areas in the northern United States were being cut by lumberjacks. The habitat for the deer was greatly enhanced by all the new growth that resulted. The deer population skyrocketed, and huge trophy-sized bucks were the norm. But that magic time was short-lived. During the late 1800s, there was a great demand for fur-bearing animals, wild game meat, and hides of all kinds. Because of that demand, market hunting of the whitetail began. Deer by the thousands were slain and sent by rail and shipped to all parts of the world. With no laws or regulations governing hunting, the deer population went from millions to less than 500,000 in the entire continental United States. Chase Benjamin, a market hunter from Alpena, Michigan, was credited with killing 2,796 deer in nearly 29 years. That's an average of almost 100 deer a year for only one market hunter. Finally, responsible people saw what was happening and began the most incredible conservation effort perhaps in human history. The deer population in 1885 was estimated at under 350,000. Today, there are nearly 17 million white-tailed deer. Clearly, deer management is working successfully for all of our enjoyment. But all of this did not happen overnight. It was a slow process of enacting laws, educating the people, and researching the habits of the whitetail. It wasn't until post-World War II that managed and licensed deer hunting took hold to stay. Careful thought and planning has gone into the conservation and preservation of this magnificent animal. It has become special in the eyes of the hunters that make the trek into the woods every year. They hope they will bag that trophy white-tailed deer. But more than that, the hunt itself has become a unique time in today's fast-paced world. It's a time when we can slow down, commune with nature and our inner souls. A time to share the outdoors with the birds, the animals, and the environment. But even for the non-hunter, the splendid animal symbolizes the majesty and beauty of nature. One of the trends in hunting today is the use of primitive firearms in bow hunting. It's the pioneer spirit that still drives us all, getting back to the good old days when the muzzle loader was the king. Back in the early 1800s, throughout the North, groups of men went out together for long periods of time for the big hunt. While in the field, these pioneers would often trade with the Indians of the area. They often lived in 1- and 2-man lodges and usually hunted in teams of 2 or 3. Hunting in 1830 was serious business. It was either for food and clothing, or it was a business venture looking for hides and pelts. Camp meant great camaraderie for men who worked hard at hunting and playing.
So I took a little stroll to the Red Dog Saloon. As I walked through the door, the music was clear. The prettiest voice I had heard all that year. The song she was singing made a man's blood run cold. When it's springtime in the Rockies, it's 40 below. Hey, boy.
Hey, welcome.
The market hunting era was upon us, and in many ways was the dark days of deer hunting history. The deer almost went the way of the buffalo and came within an eyelash of extinction. Several men would go into an area and kill as many as 100 deer each in a season. Such slaughter literally went unchecked for nearly 30 years. The Spencer was the gun of the times and was used predominantly by the market hunters. During the market hunting era, the shining and killing of deer was commonplace. But later, as we began to realize that we had to preserve the deer population, we outlawed this practice as well as other unsportsmanlike hunting activities. Shining is stealing from all of us. This kind of poaching is its worst form, blinding the deer with powerful lights and confusing him while a shot is taken. Poachers ruin this greatest of all shooting sports. It is the responsibility of all dedicated hunters to report poachers and let our conservation authorities do their job. Most states have enacted strict poaching laws and are effectively enforcing them.
So hold it right there, fellas. Conservation officer. You have some identification on you? Did you dig out some identification for me, sir?
I did not shoot that deer.
Doesn't matter right now. Step over here to the side of the vehicle, please.
I didn't shoot the deer.
You step over here, sir.
I didn't shoot the deer.
No more firearms anywhere?
No.
At all? Okay, as it stands, you'll both be placed under arrest for illegal taking of a deer and possessing of the deer.
I didn't shoot the deer.
Okay. Okay. Watch your head. Okay.
One aspect of deer hunting that has remained the same throughout history is the rut. Deer move about more, make more mistakes, and are more rambunctious during rutting season in late fall. That's the main reason why hunting success is much higher during this time. The deer are preoccupied with their biological urge to mate rather than to survive. With the post-war golden age of deer hunting and herd management, who didn't own a red and black check wool shirt? That was the standard hunting garb for a boy and his father. In late fall, father and son, armed with their lever actions, set out in high hopes of bagging a buck.
Last year there were a lot of scrapes and a lot of rubs. It's good-sized bucks were working the area. You notice around here is full of acorns, full of good food. I hunted here last year, and I'm going to send you straight down this way, then go up over the ridge, go down in there maybe 200-300 yards, get a good spot in there, and then I'll kind of work around to you. Good luck to you. Get out there and get them.
Most states have hunter's orange laws enacted. Besides the obvious safety value we've learned, deer do not have the ability to discern colors that humans have. Bright colors, such as hunter's orange, appear washed out and dull to a deer. Even though rifle hunting allows longer range shots than bow hunting, masking scents are still important to the rifleman. Attracting scents are getting a lot of attention today in luring deer to the hunter. These scents are now used frequently in both gun and bow hunting. As the modern hunters prepare for their yearly quest for the whitetail, two items should never be overlooked: practice and safety. Even though you might be an expert shot, it's important to practice and refamiliarize yourself with your firearm. This is more than just sighting in your gun. A well-practiced marksman ensures a good, clean, humane kill. Remember, sometimes safety is taken for granted with literally millions of hunters in the field each fall. Safety has to be a top priority for everyone. Always be careful and don't take unnecessary chances. Know your rifle and your area. The deer looks like he's definitely down, and the hunter takes his eye off him for an instant. A good lesson was learned here. Make sure you keep your concentration on the deer you hit until you're sure he's yours. Luckily, the second shot found its mark, and the deer was found just over the hill.
Where'd he go?
All right. My buck. My buck. All right. Like Mr. Big. Good scoring buck. Gotta have a 26, 27 inch main beam.
Although modern advancements in hunting equipment in certain areas have made hunters more proficient, there are tried and true methods that date back hundreds of years. Rattling deer and deer vocalization are supposedly hot new techniques for today's hunters, but as we know, they were used frequently by our Indian ancestors. The technique is basically the same, recreating the sound of the deer in hopes of attracting other deer. Whether you're a stand hunter, a stalker, or use some other type of hunting technique, the fundamentals remain the same. Knowing your deer and careful observations year-round ensure a successful hunt. While realistically, most hunters can't frequent their hunting areas as often as they like, 1 or 2 visits prior to hunting season can really improve your chances for success. One of the whitetail's weaknesses is that he's a creature of habit from year to year and season to season. Updating areas and runways can produce for you a decent-sized deer. It's the serious planner and scout that often comes home with a big rack. Make your final visit just before hunting season to check on scrapes and rubs that will tell you exactly where the deer are and what they're up to this season. With good scouting ahead of time, you'll know where to be and what to expect opening morning. Today's rifleman has tremendous respect for the wilds of the white-tailed deer. This annual ritual of millions of men and women heading to the woods seeking this animal is a tribute to its dynamic magnetism, beauty, and ability to survive. Most of the time, the deer will outfox you. Its instincts seem to overcome all odds. It's the alert rifleman that waits patiently for that deer's first mistake and takes advantage of it. For many of us, one good chance is all we get in a season. The rifleman has been around a long time hunting this animal we call the whitetail, and all the time he's been trying to improve, within the law, his ability to gain an advantage. In some cases, the rifleman has sought to go back to the old days and use the muzzle loaders and primitive weapons to make that challenge even greater. It's not uncommon for hunters today to do it all. Shoot black powder guns, bow hunt, and rifle hunt, all in the same year when provided the appropriate season. Deer hunting has become a national phenomenon, sweeping the nation with its adventurous allure. 1 out of every 10 adult men and women have become hunters. Among women, the growth has been astronomical, as they realize what they've been missing all these years. Hunting is as old as man. Only the purpose of hunting has changed. Today, as it has been for generations, the sport brings joy and recreation to many. To say that hunting is wrong contradicts thousands of years of man's needs and beliefs. Unlike many other natural resources, the birds and animals of the fields and forests are renewable, and with intelligent management, they can survive as long as man survives.